You may know our next guest as the face of Contemporary Retirement, a program that's aired on WDVM. Michael Day, thanks so much for coming on to Issues and Insiders.
Well, thanks for having me on.
All right, so you guys are approaching two big milestones. One is your 1000th show, which will be airing on Sunday, June 24th. So is celebration in order for that?
Oh yeah, we had sort of a televised celebration, appreciated it. Your organization provided us a cake on that show. We have to tape in advance because of closed captioning and so forth, so we've already taped it, but a lot of fun.
Yeah. What can viewers expect from that show?
Well, like we always have, you know, when you look at 1,000 shows, each show has 4 segments, so it's actually 4,000 interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk a little bit about what we've done and how we created it. We have your retiring station manager on there who's been here the entire time, and so we have a little bit of fun.
Nice, nice. That's always good to have on a TV show. And the next big moment will be the 20th anniversary mark coming after that, which you'll hit in August when that show airs. Does it feel like you've been doing it for that long, or does it feel like you've just gotten started?
Well, it seems like forever. Actually, our 10th anniversary show, which is one of our funniest shows, we actually did a collage of the old sets and me with no gray hair and so forth.
Things change.
And so I think we'll probably end up trying to do a collage of the 20 years. We had some really funky sets. I called it the Johnny Carson set and the curtain set. And so now we've had this one for a while. It looks like my law office, but actually it's just some panels that we put together.
Yeah, good stuff. Tell, like, over the 20 years and going back to when it first started, why did you get the idea to do this show in the first place?
You know, I'm an elder law attorney by training, and one of the problems is that misinformation just dominates the marketplace. It still dominates the marketplace. So I kind of ironically used to do senior clubs. There were 35 of them in Washington County, and they would allow you to come speak, but you had to go to their covered dish luncheon. And you had to eat everything. So if you didn't eat everything, you would offend somebody. So I got fat as a hog doing that. It was not a very efficient way of doing it, and it was just barely moving the needle on the need to educate the public that they can protect themselves from long-term care, they can protect themselves from financial exploitation. They need to learn about health issues, and then we always had a special guest segment that we would talk about relevant issues going on in the community. It could be anything from the Alzheimer's Association, Parkinson's, Red Cross, Community Foundation, so there would be a multitude of things. So each show was 4 segments, each 5 minutes. And as I know you as a commentator understand, I can make about anything interesting for 5 minutes, but not 6.
Yeah, it could change after a certain point, right?
And so what we did was a realization that we needed to talk to the public on a larger basis. And so I met with your station back in 1998. They agreed to do this television show and let us produce it. And so it gave us a chance right now on the TV. We talked about 12,000 households a week, so it allows us to really expand that broad base and the need that as that population is ever changing as people get older and people pass, that message needs to be continuously provided to that segment of the population.
Right, that's very important. How has, we've heard it on news stories countless times, the growing number of baby boomers who are getting older and are going to retirement now or are already in it. How has that kind of affected how you do your work as well as Contemporary Retirement, the show itself?
Well, you know, it's very interesting. It's actually a confluence of the greatest generation and baby boomers, because in reality, the 60 to 70-year-olds today still have responsibility for their parents. A lot of very important decision making going on. So it's not only planning for themselves as baby boomers, but they're directly confronted with immediate need to have information regarding how to manage the care needs of their parents. And so we've always taken an approach on this that we want to both, you know, deal with the immediacy in terms of current needs as well as be prepared to help people understand how to get prepared in the future. And this long-term care crisis is massive. You know, the growth, the expansion of life expectancies increases the probability of some of these age-related illnesses, particularly dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and people are just completely ill-prepared to deal with it.
Right. Earlier you said that there's a lot of misinformation that's can be found on the marketplace today. What are some examples of things you see that kind of remind you, yeah, this is why I want to get the right information out there?
Well, you know, in terms of long-term care, there's a perception that there's a single set of rules, a monolith, single persons and married couples. The law is actually designed to protect married couples, and yet the rules regarding single people are the only rules that people hear. So I have a middle-class family. Typically, I can protect everything they have, but they're told they're going to lose their house, they're going to lose their life savings, and the answer is no, they're not. The fact of the matter is the government is economically incented for people not to find out these options exist. Nursing homes are economically incented for people to not to find out these options exist. And so when you have that den of misinformation, friends, neighbors, relatives, as well as facilities and institutions telling people there's nothing you can do, our great challenge, and the reason we did the show, and we've been doing it for 20 years, is to try to move the needle. In fact, there are things you can do. And the message I tell people every day, I don't care what you've been told, I don't care who told you, you always have options, and those options are substantially better than you're being told.
All right, and real quick before we head to the break, what's your favorite part about doing the show for all these years?
My grandchildren on Sunday morning saying, there's Grandpa, and laughing and trying to figure out how I'm both on the TV station and making their breakfast on Sunday mornings.
TV magic. Michael Day, thanks so much for coming on the I&I for us.
Thanks for having me.